Hey, what's going on? Charles Austin here, and let's be fit forever. So, real quick, today I wanted to talk to y'all out there. Oh, and by the way, happy Monday. It's a wonderful Monday outside. Although my weather report says that the storm is coming, which, for all the folks that live in Texas like myself, anytime you can get rain, especially this year, you'll take it. And it has had some good days of rain here the last few days. But that's what I hear. So hopefully, and when the storms come, for any of my Texas natives out here, when the storm comes, man, it comes, right? So hopefully I don't have any power outages or anything like that. I can get through this one. But like I said, what's going on? Charles Austin here, and let's be fit forever. So today I wanted to talk to you a little bit about what actually happens when you exercise, right? I think that this is a subject or a topic that may often be misunderstood, may not be fully understood, right? And it's not. Oh, here we go. Sorry. Hello. Hopefully I'm back. Looked like I had a connection issue. But as I was saying, this is an issue. This is a subject that doesn't really get talked about, whether you're the exerciser or the first person that's coaching the exercise. And all over here, I'm making sure my stream has actually been refreshed. All right. Looks like it's fine. Okay. But anywho, so I wanted to talk about this one because nobody focuses on it. And it's actually something that's kind of cool. It kind of helps you understand exactly how you get the benefits that you get when you actually do exercise. Okay. But as always, before we jump in today, I know I keep putting my focus over here. I had a little technical difficulty. I was making sure we had caught back on. But as always, before we jump into today's stream, make sure that you like this video. Make sure you subscribe to this channel. Make sure you turn your notifications on after you subscribe, right? So that you're always up to date with the latest content here. Remember, we're doing streams every Monday and Wednesday. So far, I've been doing them at 6 o'clock. I'm thinking about pushing that back a little bit, but we'll see. But for now, we're doing them at 6 p.m. Central Time, Mondays and Wednesdays, with the occasional weekend pop-up, all right? So, yeah, you've probably been staring at this wonderful image of this guy gritting his teeth. Looks like this guy back here is kind of like, is he like staring at the camera during this photo shoot? You're not supposed to stare at the camera, buddy. But anywho, right? Obviously, they're exercising, right? And not all exercise, but plenty of exercise. If you do it correctly, you'll end up making faces that kind of look like that, right? Some exercises, if you're even when you're stretching, right? But there are lower intensity exercises that you can do. But hey, if you're doing it right, for the most part, every now and you'll make some faces like that, right? So let's do this, all right? And when I looked up this topic, I always like to go through and find the best articles, stories, studies, scientifically backed explanations and things when I explain the topic. And I only really needed like 2 pages to explain this, right? So let's see. Do I want to start? Yeah, let's do this first, right? So let's kind of talk about, and this was a cool article, and it kind of broke everything down, right? So real quick, like, let's say you're getting ready to exercise, no matter what your fitness goals are, whether you're getting ready to do some type of cardiovascular exercise, strength training, flexibility, HIIT training, if you're playing a sport, whatever it is, right? There are certain things that start churning and start kicking inside your body, right? So as you see here, as the article kind of starts out, sweating, you got heart pounding, pumping lungs, all these different things happen. But why do they happen? What is the story behind all this stuff? Let's kind of get into this. And as you can see, we're getting our information from a neuroscientist, which, that sounds pretty cool. We're also dealing with folks who are exercise physiologists, like myself, right? But moving on. So let's talk about your muscles real quick. So one of the things that happens immediately is your body starts trying to find glucose for energy, right? So your body stores a certain amount of it All right. You store some of it in your muscle. You store some of it in your liver. We store energy in our fat cells, etc. Right. So your body says, hey, I need energy. We're doing something that we haven't been doing. I need energy. Right. Now, we don't really need to get into all this ATP stuff or anything like that. But the main thing here is to understand that if you ever hear that word, that's just, for the layman's terms, that's just another way to say energy. Okay. So first thing that happens, your body calls on glucose for energy. Now, why is this important, right? Well, if you see this word here, glucose, you've probably heard, if you think about one of the chronic diseases here that's very prevalent, diabetes. Okay. So if you're somebody who may be diabetic and you're saying, hey, I'm trying to reduce my glucose, I'm trying to get myself healthier, exercise is obviously going to be one of those things. Okay. It's not about necessarily, it's the weight loss, which helps. It's not necessarily about the stress reduction, which helps. Those things are all things that helps. They're all parts of the pie. All right. But if we're just specifically talking about what's a direct benefit for somebody who may be a diabetic, right? Right off the bat, we know that we're going to utilize more glucose in our bodies and in our bloodstream, which can in turn reduce our glucose levels. Okay. Now this comes over time. This comes with regular exercise. This isn't something that you can say, hey, my blood sugar is 147, or whatever the number may be. If it's high, and hey, I'm going to start exercising. And when I wake up tomorrow, my blood glucose is going to be 80 and it's going to stay that way. No, that's not how this works. So obviously you got to do this stuff over time. But again, the cool thing is that your muscles are going to get used a lot, and you're going to call on glucose to give them energy. And the more glucose you utilize over time can help bring down, normalize blood sugar levels. So it can be especially important for diabetics. So here we go. Let's go to the lungs, right? So again, we're talking about the stuff that happens when you start exercising. So let's go to your lungs real quick. Your body may need up to 15 times more oxygen when you exercise. So you start to breathe faster and heavier. Okay. So your breathing rate will increase until the muscles surrounding the lungs just can't move any faster. So you'll if you get to this kind of expanding contraction of your lungs, right? I kind of make this look like a heart too, I guess. But your lungs are expanding and contracting as well. And you're going to do that as much as you can until they just can't go any faster, right? So how does this play a role, right? Well, for my folks out there that are athletes or competitive athletes, think about improving your lung capacity, right? Think about improving your ability to take in more oxygen over time and exchange more carbon dioxide. Get more carbon dioxide out, get more oxygen in so that we can utilize it. So for my folks out there that are competitive athletes, obviously, you go through training, but if you're ever wondering why you're working with the strength coach, it's things like this. We're trying to improve your lung capacity, right? So the more you can actually train your lungs to do things that they're not used to doing, you can improve your lung capacity, right? Exercise is also important for folks who are suffering from lung issues. Maybe you're asthmatic, right? And obviously you need to make sure that you're doing your programming, your exercise, and you're speaking with your doctor and make sure you're doing the right things. But the more you can train your lungs, the healthier you can make your lungs, the less your symptoms will be when you're dealing with asthma symptoms and asthma attacks and things like that. These are just two of many benefits associated with your lungs, right? So again, diaphragm here again goes into this kind of the similar thing. This is kind of like your breathing muscle, if you will. So again, if your diaphragm is in better shape, you can also move more air more efficiently. So let's move on. Now, definitely your heart. So as it says here, when you exercise, heart rate increases to circulate more oxygen via your blood at a quicker pace. So the more you exercise, the more efficient your heart becomes at this process. So again, if y'all are not new to the channel, all right, so here's my opportunity. It literally comes like 99.9% of the time. And in many cases, I review these articles there, before I go over them, right? But every now and again, I'll go through an article and I'll be like, ooh, I didn't see that part earlier, or it'll something to pop up. But anyway, I'm going to read this part again. All right. So it says, when you exercise, your heart rate increases to circulate more blood. Okay. what does it say here? The more you exercise, the more efficient your heart becomes at this process. What process are we talking about? The process is circulating blood. So specifically, the one thing that we focus on the most, and we focus on a lot of things here on this channel, but one of the things we focus on the most is to understand what is the number one killer of humans on planet Earth. Well, if you're not new to the channel, it is heart disease. Okay? So if you want to create a more efficient heart, you exercise. Okay? And again, the reason why your heart becomes more efficient, because the regular exercise tells your heart that I need to circulate more oxygen. I need to work harder right now when I'm working, so then when I'm at rest, I can chill out and relax a little bit more. Okay. So this is especially important for folks who suffer from heart disease, especially blood pressure as well. Now, again, you want to make sure that you're getting the right type of exercise based on the severity of your illness or your condition. So obviously, if you just had open heart surgery yesterday, that doesn't mean you should go run stairs at a football stadium for 2 hours. That's not a good idea. All right, you got to work back up for baby steps. So everybody has their own situation. The point is, if you know you're suffering from something like high blood pressure or heart disease or any circulation issues, here's one of the fixes. Exercise right here. And we just showed you why. All right. Stomach and intestines. All right. So because the body is pumping more blood to the muscles, it takes away some from your intestines, like digestion, right? So this can result in tummy troubles. Not really, very rarely. This mainly comes if you eat too close to exercise, right? But one of the cool things about exercise, and these are kind of related, where is it at? Here we go. Where is it at? Yeah, so again, when we're talking about circulating the blood at a quicker pace, remember blood goes everywhere. So if you're combining a healthy, nutritious diet with regular exercise, when you exercise, you're sending more blood to your digestive tract too. So even though it may not be working during exercise, you're helping to benefit it when you're not exercising, okay? So again, not a lot going on here. It's kind of part of your parasympathetic nervous system, where it kind of just does the rest and digest thing. And this is kind of when your body's chilling out. So not a lot going on here. You're activating your sympathetic nervous system, which means you're going to be getting ready for exercise, which means less activity by your parasympathetic, which means you're resting. Acting like I'm in a science class. Let me stop with these words. All right. So now here's a big one. Your brain. Okay. And one of the things I used to like to do, I haven't done it so much lately, is I used to like to get on a recumbent bicycle and do things like play Tetris or word searches or spelling games, whatever, matching. I really like to challenge my brain while exercising. It was great, right? And I was wore out afterwards, right? But anyway, increased blood flow also benefits the brain immediately. The brain cells will start functioning at a higher level. Look at that. Brain cells functioning at a higher level. All we have to do is exercise and we can get our brain cells to function at a higher level. All right. And this makes you feel more alert and awake during exercise and more focused afterward. Okay. So one of the things I try to do is I try to get exercise in the morning. I'm not even a morning person, but it does kind of set the tone for the day so that later on throughout the day, I have more focus. I have more alertness. Believe it or not, coffee is not the way, right? Nothing wrong with the occasional cup. But that's an artificial stimulant, right? If you will. The natural stimulant is to get some regular exercise, right? So we're going to go a little bit deeper into the brain, right? So when you work out regularly, the brain gets used to this frequent surge of blood and adapts by turning certain genes on or off. Now, this is super important. That's why I said we're going to go a little bit deeper on the brain. And one real quick sidebar, when I was in college, I wrote a paper about the connection between reduced Alzheimer's symptoms and exercise. And basically it was about exercise and its treatment for Alzheimer's. All right. And one of the things that I found in that study, it was a research paper. One of the things I found in that was that you're creating new connections in your brain with exercise, the blood flow, which you're able to get the oxygen and nutrition, which doesn't promote tissue death, which is one of the causes of Alzheimer's, right? So you're getting those things going on inside your brain, which can reduce your risk from suffering from Alzheimer's. Alzheimer's is not something that you have to get. It's basically kind of like an abundance of blood glucose in your brain, or a lack of nutrition, or dead tissue and things like that, low activity. So anyway, so many of these changes in the brain boost cell function and protect from diseases like Alzheimer's and Parkinson's, and of course even stroke. And obviously it's going to ward off age-related decline. So we know we decline over the years, but if you can continue to send healthy signals to your brain over time, you can decrease its wear and tear, right? Now you can't prevent it forever, but if we know we only get one life, why not live as healthy and as happy as possible for as long as possible, right? So again, for anybody who knows that maybe this is something that runs in your family, which I'm not sure about the evidence to support that yet, Parkinson's, right? These are things that you can do early. We're talking about prevention, okay? One of the things I like to focus on is stopping things before they happen, all right? So again, here we're talking about a way we can help improve our brain and keep it young and healthy as long as possible, while also decreasing risk for certain diseases. And specifically here, I did a video on stroke as well. You can check that out inside my chronic disease playlist. But again, reducing your risk for stroke is also important. Okay, I'm going to go a little bit more on the brain real quick. All right. So exercise also triggers a surge of chemical messages in the brain called neurotransmitters, which include endorphins. And this is one of those happy chemicals. I used to always call it happy chemicals when I would explain it. So endorphins just literally make you feel good. They help kill pain, and they just increase a certain feeling of euphoria. So the more often you do this, the happier you are. This is why exercise is excellent for stress relief. So if you think that exercise is only good for your heart and losing weight, your brain is loving it too. Okay. Kidneys. All right. So the rate at which kidneys filter blood can change depending on your levels of exertion. After intense exercise, kidneys will allow greater levels of protein to be filtered into the urine. They also trigger better water reabsorption, resulting in less urine, which is why it's likely an attempt to help you stay as hydrated. Okay. So again, not a whole lot necessary like direct benefits. But again, they'll exercise after will help you retain a little bit more water because you need it. Okay. Skin. There it is. I was wondering when that was popping up. I was like, I know I saw it earlier, right? So again, skin is another big benefit. And that's why I told you I found 2 articles that really gave me all the juice that I needed for today. But again, the skin, as you, where is it? Dilation of the blood vessels. There it is, right? And what this does is it helps increase blood flow to the skin. The more blood flow you can have to the skin, again, this is another example of showing that the nutrients that you need, the nutrients you get from your food, they're going to go everywhere. And when you have proper nutrient flow, you have balanced nutrient flow to all places, you're just going to be healthier, and your skin is no different. So when you're getting adequate oxygen and nutrients and hydration and all those different things to your skin, and you're going to boost this by doing regular exercise, your skin is going to look healthier. It's going to stay firm. It's going to maintain more elasticity. And you'll have a younger look, right? And these are all things that we're trying to achieve, right? Let's see what else. Joints, definitely, right? Exercising, put extra weight on your joints, sometimes up to 5 or 6 times more than your body weight. So ankles, knees, shoulders, etc., right? So each joint is lined with cushioning at the end of these bones called cartilage, which promote easy motion. So the good thing about exercising for your joints is the blood flow again. Okay. So again, your joints have certain types of fluids in between them to help cushion them and lubricate them. So again, if we can keep that flowing as much as possible, you're going to have healthier joints, right? But the one thing you do have to make sure you pay attention to is the type of exercise that you are doing, because if you're doing things that are too strenuous, you can wear away those joints a little bit. That's why you may see certain athletes that play professional sports for many years, they may have bone and joint issues because they've been so active. So that's why it's important to make sure we tailor things like running, jumping, and things like that. But the overall exercise, if you're doing low impact, is excellent for your joints just to continue to maintain that circulation. Okay. So this is kind of the what happens in your body and why it's beneficial. So if you didn't know, hopefully you picked up a couple of nuggets to understand why it's so important for us to do our exercise every day. Right. So real quick, this one here kind of gave you like a little breakdown, a little timeline on what happens, kind of like minute by minute, hour by hour. Right. So what happens in the first what happens in the first 10 minutes of starting a new exercise program, right? So as soon as you start exercising, your body, I can't highlight. As soon as you start exercising, your body will respond by stimulating certain physiological processes, i.e. we talked about it, heart rate, glucose absorption, respiration rate, all these different things, right? So this is one of the reasons why it's recommended that you warm up for about 10 minutes before you start exercising, because all these things turning on, it takes time, right? So you need to give it a little time. You don't just say, I'm going to wake up out of the bed in the early morning and go straight into sprinting. No, you got to give your body time to adjust, right? So what happens after an hour of exercising? Basically, your body's just trying to continue to maintain an efficient energy usage, right? Nothing really specific about the timing. The only thing we can say about exercising more than an hour, you really don't need to. And if you do, you may need to take in extra carbohydrates. But for the most part, keep your exercises 60 minutes or less and you'll be fine, right? What happens an hour after you finish, right? So your body's trying to get itself back into like that regular state where it was. But then you have this time where you're kind of just slowly cooling down. And you normally refer to this as the afterburn effect, right? So this is, and I post a link to my video on the afterburn effect, so you can check that out. But basically, hours after you finish exercising, your body's trying to get back to this regular place where it was before. So it's slowly cooling down. And if you think about it, your temperature is still a little bit elevated. Your pulse rate can be elevated. Your circulation can be elevated. And these are all things that's going to cause you to burn more calories after you finish that workout. So keep that in mind. Now, as we continue to do exercise regularly, a day after you exercise, you may be sore, right? You may have this thing called delayed onset muscle soreness, right? Which is referred to as DOMS for short. And this is basically just a result of small little tears and micro tears in your muscles, doing a little bit of damage to your joints. All these different things are normal. And that'll normally happen the next day. So you'll feel that the soreness, you'll even feel it 3 days after, right? You still may feel a little bit of soreness, but you may start to say, hey, I'm a little bit hungrier, right? I want to eat a little bit more. You might start to feel that metabolic rate pick up just a little bit, right? What happens 1 week after you exercise a program? Now your body's starting to adapt a little bit more. And now you're getting a little bit more confident with exercising. So as we get into the 2-4 weeks, months into exercise, now we start to figure out, hey, I'm losing weight. I'm feeling better. My blood pressure is decreasing. My pulse rate's decreasing. My clothes are fitting better. All those different things start to happen weeks and months into your exercise program. So it is kind of a process. It's a step by step. You can't just wake up tomorrow and say, I'm going to exercise and get all the benefits. It doesn't really work that way. Okay. So just keep those little things in mind as you continue to exercise. And hey, if you're getting ready to start an exercise program, check out my video inside my fitness playlist that says, hey, how to start an exercise program. I got a video just for that. Okay. All right. So before we see if we got any Q&A, I did want to remind you, as always, if you're not subscribed to the channel, what are you waiting on, right? You look here real quick. I just want to highlight a couple of items here. If we go look on our playlist, I do my best. Oh, I didn't see that. Hey, it says I'm live right there. What do you know? I'm showing you that I'm live while I'm live. Woo-hoo. But if you go check out the playlist, right? For any topic that you're curious on. So if you're curious about an exercise and fitness topic, click the playlist, and I got many in here, right? You want to know about total body workouts, how to do biceps curls. You want to know about the benefits of massage therapy. You want to know why better health is equal to better sex, right? You want to know about how to properly warm up, etc. So check out my exercise and fitness playlist as well. Also check out my chronic disease playlist where we talk about different diseases and illnesses. I just did one on antibiotic resistance. If you want to know about hypertension, cholesterol, etc., break it all down. All right. And then my pride and joy, which is my favorite thing to discuss, which is nutrition. And we have just different topics in here, right? And most recently, I encourage everybody to check this one out right here. The one where I'm talking about, are we made to eat meat? And I explain exactly how our body is and what we're designed to eat, right? But different videos on pre-workout nutrition, why plant protein is better, bowel movements, all these different things associated to your nutrition and digestion, right? So check that out. But real quick, I did want to make sure you understood that, hey, if you're looking for a challenge, check out my 3 times the burn challenge. You can go try it for 10 days, all those workouts for free. If you absolutely love what you like, which I'm sure you will, you can visit fitnesscharles.com/3 times the burn to sign up for the full version, which includes support from me, also a nutrition plan and challenges as well to keep you engaged inside the program. So check that out. You can go right here on the homepage on my website, fitnesscharles.com, and hit that get started button right there. Also, if you're looking for something, and that's a 60-day challenge, right? If you're looking for something a little bit more detailed, check out my vital tested system for losing 10 to 30 pounds in 90 days. This is my Fit Forever family. You can hit this button right here and get signed up for a free consultation where we will break down all of this information, where we're talking about what's included into this amazing experience. So click that button to book a free consultation and we'll get it all straight to you. Okay. All right. Let's see if we got any Q&A. Let's see here. All right. It's quiet in the world of the Q&A today, y'all. But again, keep in mind, if you ever have a question after the fact, you're welcome to ask a question. Put it in the comments, y'all. Drop it in the comments. No big deal. And I'll get back to you as soon as possible. And yeah, so that'd be it for today. So I will not be streaming Wednesday. So I'll probably pop up on Thursday this week. I have a conflict this week. How did I get there? I have a conflict this week. So I will be streaming on Thursday this week. So don't look for me on Wednesday. I'll see you Wednesday. But again, normally we're streaming every Monday and Wednesday, 6 p.m. Central Time. Thinking about pushing that back a little bit later, but we'll see. But until then, again, make sure you like this video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Turn your notifications on. Make sure you follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at FitnessCharles. Also visit fitnesscharles.com to learn more about the 3 times the burn 60-day challenge and my 90-day transformation experience called the Fit Forever Family. Until Thursday this week, I will see y'all as always. Be happy.